From humble beginnings as a poor kid, this individual made an incredible journey to become the developer of one of the world's most successful and well-known coffee chains, Starbucks. Despite facing numerous challenges and obstacles, he persevered and worked tirelessly to achieve his goals. Through hard work, determination, and a strong sense of purpose, he was able to overcome any obstacle in his way and create a truly remarkable success story. Today, Starbucks is a global company with thousands of shops around the world, and this individual stands as a shining example of what's possible when you set your mind to it and never give up, no matter how difficult the journey may seem. We're talking about none other than Howard Schultz, the man who took a small coffee shop in Seattle and turned it into a global powerhouse. Today, Schultz is known as a visionary entrepreneur and one of the most successful business leaders in his generation. In today's video, we're going to cover Howard Schultz and all of his life experiences and how he turned Starbucks into a $100 billion company. So without further delay, let's get into it. Early life and childhood. Howard Schultz was born on July 19, 1953, in Brooklyn, New York. He was the oldest of 3 children and grew up in a working-class family. His father, Fred Schultz, was a truck driver, while his mother, Elaine, was a nurse. Schultz grew up in a small apartment in the Canarsie neighborhood of Brooklyn. He had a fairly typical childhood for someone living in New York at the time. As a child, Schultz was always ambitious and had a strong desire to succeed. He excelled in his studies and was a top student at Canarsie High School. In addition to his academic pursuits, Schultz was also an avid sports player and enjoyed playing basketball and football. After completing high school, Schultz attended Northern Michigan University on a football scholarship. He excelled in his studies and earned a bachelor's degree in communications. After graduation, Schultz returned to New York and began working in the sales department at Xerox. Birth of the company. Howard Schultz first came across Starbucks in Seattle in the 1980s and quickly became the company's director of marketing. At the time, Starbucks primarily focused on selling coffee beans rather than coffee drinks. While on a trip to Milan, Schultz was struck by the popularity and abundance of coffee shops on every street corner and realized the potential for Starbucks to expand into selling coffee drinks as well. He pitched his idea to the founders of Starbucks, but they weren't interested in pursuing it. Undeterred, Schultz convinced them to let him open a coffee bar within a Starbucks store in Seattle. The coffee bar was an immediate success, drawing in a steady stream of customers. Despite this success, the founders of Starbucks still didn't want to shift their focus to coffee drinks. Frustrated, Schultz left the company and started his own coffee business. A few years later, he approached investors who shared his vision and purchased Starbucks from its owners, eventually merging it with his own company. Schultz faced the challenge of convincing investors that Americans would be willing to pay more for a cup of coffee, which they were accustomed to buying for 50 cents. Through determination and persistence, Schultz turned Starbucks into a global powerhouse, transforming it from a small business into a multinational corporation. His strong communication skills and his ability to persuade others played a key role in his success. Starbucks is currently the largest seller of coffee drinks in the world, with no other company coming close to its sales. By 2022, Starbucks had increased its annual net revenue to $26.58 billion. From $24.61 billion the year before. The company's success and the global expansion made it a household name and a leader in the coffee industry. Major challenges. When Howard Schultz first pitched the idea of shifting Starbucks' focus from selling coffee beans to selling coffee drinks, he faced significant resistance from the company's founders and investors. They were skeptical of the potential for such a business model to succeed, and Schultz had to work hard to convince them of his vision. However, Schultz was determined to see his idea come to fruition and eventually started his own company, which focused on selling coffee drinks. Despite facing numerous challenges and obstacles, Schultz persevered and eventually convinced investors who shared his vision to purchase Starbucks and merge it with his own company. This required a great deal of perseverance and motivation, as Schultz had to overcome numerous setbacks in order to get his business off the ground. As an entrepreneur, it's important to learn how to deal with difficulties and obstacles, as building a successful business often requires time and perseverance. Schultz's success can be attributed to his determination to succeed, even when faced with rejection or resistance. He's cited 4 principles as keys to his success: not being threatened by people who are smarter than you, compromising on anything but your core values, seeking to renew yourself even when you're hitting home runs, and recognizing that everything matters. These principles helped Schultz navigate the challenges and obstacles that come with entrepreneurship and to turn his vision into a reality. From struggling chain to $100 billion global giant. Howard Schultz took the reins of Starbucks in 2008 when the company was struggling to stay afloat in the midst of the economic recession. At the time, Starbucks had over 16,000 locations worldwide, but its stock price had plummeted, and the company was facing intense competition from other coffee chains. Under Schultz's leadership, Starbucks began to turn things around. One of the key strategies that Schultz implemented was to focus on customer experience. He believed that by providing a superior customer experience, Starbucks would differentiate itself from its competitors and drive sales. To that end, he invested heavily in employee training and development, and he worked to create warm, inviting atmospheres in Starbucks stores. Another key strategy that Schultz employed was to expand the company's product line. He recognized that Starbucks had the potential to be more than just a coffee shop, and he began to introduce new products such as sandwiches, pastries, and snacks. This helped to drive sales and increase the company's appeal to a wider range of customers. In addition to these strategies, Schultz also worked to innovate and stay ahead of the curve. He embraced new technologies such as mobile ordering and payment, and he introduced new store concepts that were designed to appeal to younger customers. Over the course of the next decade, Schultz's efforts paid off. Starbucks became a $100 billion company with over 31,000 locations worldwide. Schultz's leadership and strategic vision played a key role in the company's success, and he's been hailed as one of the most successful business leaders of his generation. Today's Starbucks is a global brand that's known and loved by millions of people around the world. Howard Schultz's philanthropic efforts. Howard Schultz is not only known for his business acumen and leadership skills, but also for his philanthropic efforts. Throughout his career, Schultz has been a vocal advocate for education and has donated millions of dollars to various charitable causes. One of Schultz's key philanthropic initiatives has been his support for education. He's donated millions of dollars to schools and universities around the world, and he's worked to promote educational opportunities for disadvantaged students. Schultz is particularly passionate about providing education to children of low-income families, and has worked to create programs that help these students to succeed. In addition to his work in education, Schultz has also supported a number of other charitable causes. He's donated to organizations that work to combat homelessness, provide health care to underserved communities, and support veterans and military families. He's also been a vocal advocate for environmental causes and has supported initiatives that work to protect the planet and reduce carbon emissions. Overall, Schultz's philanthropic efforts reflect his commitment to giving back and making a positive impact on the world. Through his charitable donations and community service projects, Schultz has helped to improve the lives of countless people around the globe and has played a key role in promoting education and technology. His dedication to philanthropy has earned him wide recognition and respect, and has made him an inspiration to others who are looking to make a difference in the world. So, there you have it. If you enjoyed today's content, make sure you like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new videos. Until next time.